Okay, tell me about the barrel gin again.
So this is the same as our regular gin. Like it's the distillate gets split between what goes in barrel and what we bottle, and then we put it in barrels at 120 proof for about 4 months, and then we'll pull it out, and it's the same proof as the regular gin. So the only difference is the fact that it's been aged.
Yeah.
So,
interesting.
Which is pretty cool.
Cool. So like, oh wow.
It's like sweeter on the nose, a lot less of like that pininess, and you get a little less of the citrus, but it's not quite as big bodied as like a bourbon would be. And you still get a lot of the botanicals.
But not as like Christmas tree as a normal gin would be.
As a normal gin, yeah. But I think it's like a lot more mellow.
Oh wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
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 That's crazy. I mean, I don't think I've ever actually had anything bad here, but...
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you think so.
What is that your favorite? You said the small batch is your favorite.
The small batch is my favorite. I got into this because I like whiskey. So the small batch is definitely my favorite. And obviously it takes a little bit more energy and you wait longer for it. But
sure, this
is definitely the one that got me. Like, I made a list of all the distilleries in New Jersey. Asbury Park Distilling is first alphabetically, so I kind of just stopped there. Yep. I didn't even compare it. I tried it here, and I was like, "This is amazing.
This is it."
Yeah.
And were you local to here?
I live in Mattawan.
Okay, so not too far.
Not too far. And I still live in Mattawan because I love it, and it's like halfway between my work and my husband's work. So
yeah.
And
I think like being a little bit further away probably helps like keep you in check.
Yes.
You know, so you don't like oh, it's right around the corner, I'll just go.
I'll just pop in and do a little work. No, I have to actually drive here, so it does make me go home sometimes.
I think when we did the episode with the guys a couple years ago, I remember when we did the little, like Bill brought us back here, and I remember there was like maybe over here, like the whiskey was coming out. It was clear at that point, and it looked like you could barely see like it looked like a solid thing. It didn't look like liquid running out of it.
It looks like a continuous stream.
Yeah, and I think if I remember correctly, I think he said that was your first whiskey that you had done like pillar to post, like start to finish.
Oh,
I think if I remember that conversation correctly,
could have been the Taylor Swift whiskey that I made.
What's the Taylor Swift whiskey?
So, the red album, Taylor's version, came out, and I was like, oh, well, what if we made a red whiskey? Oh. So like I was inspired by that album, and we did Bloody Butcher Corn and Red Winter Wheat, and then we did like a blonde malt and like a red ale malt.
Interesting.
And so that was like his way of like teaching me how to build a recipe for whiskey, and we just did like the 2 brews. Yeah. And we have 1 barrel, and I have a little bit that I could still put into a barrel. I just haven't gotten a barrel for it yet, but I don't know. It's just Taylor Swift inspired. But
sure. No, I mean people take inspiration from all sorts of places.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
So.
Can we also try the small batch too?
Yeah.
What makes the small batch different than just the regular bourbon that I drink all the time?
The regular bourbon is not made here.
Oh.
It's distilled in Indiana, and we buy it at 2 years old in barrels. So basically, like, we started making whiskey, and everyone was like, well, when's it gonna be ready?
Yeah.
Like, we have to wait for it. So in the meantime, we sourced, it's a really common practice.
Sure.
We sourced whiskey. We wanted to kind of put our own fingerprint on it.
Yeah.
So we put it in our ex-gin barrels.
Okay.
To kind of give it like an extra little something.
Yeah.
Which I do think it like makes a difference.
Yeah. I did not know that until just now.
Yeah. And then the whiskey that we make is the small batch bourbon.
Gotcha.
We called it small batch because it is like groups of like 6 to 10 barrels that are harvested at a time, so that's very small. There's small batches that are like 100 barrels.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not like a legally defined thing.
Sure.
But the small batch bourbon is 100% our whiskey made with New Jersey grain, which is cool.
Yeah. We love that.
We love that.
Greetings from the
like,
Garden State.
Yeah.
just Jersey stuff.
Just Jersey stuff.
Yeah.
We've got great agriculture here, so we might as well just use New Jersey grain. So.
Yeah.
So it's all New Jersey grain, all made here, and all aged here. So.
Yeah. Okay, let's do like a cheers.
Okay.
This will be like as doctored as we really ever get on the show. We'll do it again. Let's make sure we got one.
Okay.
Okay, so small batch. Talk to me about it.
This is 100% New Jersey grain, like we said. 62.5% corn, 12.5% malted barley, and 25% rye. All of our bourbon is the same mash bill. We just like pick different barrels. This is the first batch that I picked all the barrels by myself.
Okay.
So that was kind of cool. Before that, it was kind of a collaborative process between myself and Bill.
Yeah.
Who was here before. So.
Picking barrels. What is that? Like when you're trying to pick one?
We have like a
multiple?
list. Yeah, we have a list of all the ones that are the right age, like to harvest, and then we'll pull like a little sample. We have something called the whiskey thief, right? So like just pull up a little sample. It's like taking a straw, basically. And then we'll kind of taste each one, rate them. Like we have like, you know, a rating system for all sorts of different flavor notes, like fruity, is it cereal grain, do you get a lot of like floral notes to it, all that. And then we take the top ranked ones and just kind of play around with different combinations to try and get like what we're looking for.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. So.
That's just so good.
Thank you.
It's just like, I don't know, I think the people, like when they go to like a liquor store and stuff like that, like, I feel like they always sleep on like the Jersey stuff.
Yeah,
you know? And like,
I think so.
Yeah, and I'm glad that like the more I've been out to liquor stores, not that I'm going all the time, but I might
see more Jersey stuff.
Yeah, more Jersey stuff, but specifically like the Asbury Park stuff, which is what we want. You know? We want to see it.
Sure.
We want to see it out, like not just here, but like all over the place. So, cool.
Yeah.